Hey everybody, it's episode 4 of 13 Reasons Why, season 2. Last time Jessica got to she got brought to court, she got questioned by the bitch lawyer from hell, although she's not as bad as Hannah's mother's friend. But I thought Jessica was going to open up about Bryce the same way Courtney opened up about being a lesbian. But Jessica opening up about that thing is a lot harder because it brings with it a lot of other things. One, is she going to be believed? 2, is it going to make her life so much more complicated? 3, is she's be getting these, messages. So maybe she's in danger if she does speak about it. There's a lot going on. And on the flip side, she wants to do right by Hannah and her mother, but, she has to weigh all that up. Now, eventually she may talk about it. We went and got Justin last time. Tony punched a few dudes. That's the thing that will be dealt with at a later point, probably. Sky is gone almost permanently until she's back. What else happened in the episode? Tyler met a brand new bunch of they're good friends. New bunch of misfits, and they're down in the basement building bombs. Why? Tyler doesn't know yet, but they're gonna blow up the school. Or, maybe it's just for Halloween, like some sort of fireworks. Maybe it's 4th of July. Who knows what they're doing? That one girl has the hots for Tyler, but I don't know if he recognizes it yet. It's all in the eyes. Maybe the dude has the hots for him too. I thought Alex and Tyler were going to get together at one point. So maybe my whole radar is just off somewhere in the distance. Anyway, let's get into episode 4. I thought last time it was going to be. I thought in the last episode I was like, they're setting up Marcus. Marcus is going to be next because he has that. They were building a bit of his story. We got to see a bit of his family. They're like the Obamas. Yeah, we got to see his family life and his parents. I think it's his dad is extremely political, or maybe it's both of his parents. But it feels like Marcus was grown up in that atmosphere of being a leader, being a role model, being the best of the best. And now if anything comes out about what happened with him and Hannah, his episode in season 1 was a bit timid, all things considered. But he was a complete jerk and I don't understand it. So maybe we'll get more clarification if it is if he's up again. He's up on the stand. And we'll see, maybe we'll see some of the pressures he's under and, more behind the scenes on that. So, without further ado, that's what the first few minutes of every episode is. It's just a do. It's just a do. It's episode 4. It is called I Don't Know. And my prediction is it's going to be about Marcus. Oh, and Clay got a car. And Justin is hanging out in his room.
My whole life, my father told me people will judge me.
Justin, wake up.
It's Marcus.
Justin, come on.
It's Marcus.
We gotta get you to...
He's addicted. He's addicted.
Hi.
It's not mine, Mom. It's this homeless guy. Clay, make sure that's flushed.
Tony, it was heroin. He had heroin.
Just wanted to say good morning before you went off to practice.
Mr. Porter went to see her.
That girl's mother made a statement in the press.
Oh, Hannah?
You haven't been following it?
Dad and Warren told me to keep my head down. That's what I've been doing.
Let me know if you need someone to talk to. Dr. Pierce would be glad to see you. Or your counselor at school. What's his name? Mr. Porter?
Oh, thanks. I'm good, Mom.
How did she know that, he's thinking?
Tony told me to wait till your mom left and come through the window. I've got some supplies. How are you feeling?
Supplies for what?
Justin's going to be suffering horrible withdrawal very soon.
Look, Justin, you want to help Jessica, right? Well, you can't testify if you're high. Do you think Jessica will want to see you like this? No.
Got this. I'll text you every hour.
Thanks, Sherry.
Do you know who might want to intimidate you, Jessica?
It's pretty obvious.
Bryce?
If he is worried that you would call him out, that means he thinks that you know who he is.
Yeah, well, I don't.
For sure.
Okay.
I want you to know that we're on your side.
Especially season 2, Mr. Porter. He's much better.
We're gonna get that bastard. You don't have to worry about that.
Tell them what you told the lawyers last fall. The truth was setting you free, right?
Can I skip the truth and move to convenient lies?
But it's not a fair system. And I want you to look after yourself first.
Hey, Dad. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
He's another one of the kids that calls his dad Sir. Oh, is he having a flashback? What's he remembering?
Yes, I remembered something. I almost remembered it.
Do it again. Spill it again. Hey, why are you hanging out with that Alex kid? You don't need them, Zach.
What did I say?
It's my favorite character.
Hannah's story, and they're not getting it in there.
Wait,
These kids are not on message.
These kids are kids, Jackie.
For a second I was like, does she actually exist? Is she just in Hannah's mother's mind? But then the lawyer directly addressed her, so I was like, oh, okay. Jackie exists.
We have Justin.
What?
He said he'll testify. He can back up Hannah's story.
It's not Hannah's story, and it's not his story. It's mine. And I don't want him telling it.
Yeah, Clay.
Justin, listen.
You went behind her back
Justin
here.
Shut up, Clay.
I'm just worried about it.
Yeah, the gang is here.
Guys, if I don't ace this test, I might drop below a C, okay?
So play the dad card again. That cat will let you slide. No, fuck. Sorry, brother. You know what I mean.
They're the coolest, aren't they? This group. Chloe and Monty. And whoever this guy is. Scott? Is that his name? Ooh. Tyler's a new man. I hope that's a guitar.
I wanted to show her that there were good kids at Liberty.
Who'd you guys get?
Nope.
Oh, we get to see some
really.
backstory on his date. Maybe we'll find out why he was late.
Isn't Jesus your one true love?
You're not cool, Marcus. Prove to us that you're cool.
And it just so happens I got Hannah, so maybe it's time to sin.
I'll bet you $100 you can't even get your hands in.
So he has to bring them along to prove.
Well, maybe we underestimate.
Do you even like Hannah? Or are you just trying to get with her?
Yes, I do like her. And I made a bet with Bryce.
$100?
And at first it seemed like things were going really well.
See, fellas?
What are you doing?
I mean, she seemed like she was having a good time. I tried to hold her hand. But I guess she took it the wrong way.
Don't touch me! Get off!
Because you touched her hand?
Yeah, that's how it happens. At least Zach came back. So we did get the backstory on his date, and it didn't put him in a better light at all.
But you stood your ground and told the truth.
Is it her?
That's fucking brave, you know?
Writing
Right.
the notes?
There's this thing this weekend at Bryce's, and it's time to get you an upstanding, legit boyfriend, right?
Are they all
I'll
rapists,
see you at
Chloe?
practice.
I hate Chloe right now. I'm willing to have my mind changed about her. Because this show does that. But right now, she's just the worst. Second worst. Jackie.
If we can't have you, can we...
Have your
maybe-
car?
Okay, but only if Jess drives.
Like Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, if Thelma had a bum leg in boy parts.
They're having a nice... They dated. They're getting on well now.
No lines.
I like that.
Having all the popcorn.
Oh, he's gonna have a flash of something.
So what? Are you like trying to have sex with her now or something?
What? I fucking lied, Jess. She was just hurt, and then she called me out on it. And I got embarrassed, and I said we should stop hanging out with her. I was such an asshole.
We're both assholes. Wish I could wipe the slate clean and start over.
No, you don't. Fucking sucks.
It's funny. Like, she wants to forget everything, and he wants to remember.
I mean, why are you so worried about your probation all of a sudden? You said it was no big deal.
Yeah, that was when I thought this case would settle.
Jessica doesn't even want him to. She just wants the whole thing to go away.
If that's what Jessica wants, it's out of our hands.
Yeah, we gotta respect what Jessica wants, because it is her story.
Take this.
Is it liquid heroin? Sherry?
Okay, well, if you do, stop being such a little bitch and get yourself better. Here.
I've never heard you say bitch before.
Well, I never had to babysit your crying ass before.
I feel like if she goes to the toilet, he'll just sneak out the window to try and find heroin.
Explain to the court how this makes logical sense.
Well, there was more to it than that. She had a crush on another guy, and she asked me to set her up with him.
Can you please reveal to the jury who Hannah was asking about?
Was it Zach? Was it Bryce? Is that what you were gonna say? What were you gonna say?
Bryce Walker.
Ooh, he said the B word. Well, this is a huge lie. This helps Bryce down the road.
And Bryce Walker is the king of our school.
Is he taking advantage of somebody? Is it the dude? Where is he? This guy!
Sorry.
Imagine if it was Chloe. I'm bitching about her and she's actually helping. Are you leaving me messages?
You don't look so good.
Secretly?
You should look out for yourself.
Thanks, dude. He's like person number one that it could be, like the obvious person. But it could be someone we don't expect, like Monty or...
I understand that you made a little house call.
I'm going to fire you unless you don't do that. You know, Bryce's dad is very powerful and he donates a lot to the school and we can get another counselor.
Marcus said Hannah was in love with Bryce, which is a fucking lie.
What are you going to do about it, Tyler? What are you going to do about it? Hey, buddy!
Fuck, dude, why'd you bring my name up in court?
This is okay, Bryce. This is okay. He's planted the seed now that Hannah was into Bryce and wanted to be around Bryce and, you know, it's a politician.
Right. I saw an opportunity to do you a favor, so I took it.
A favor? You think dragging me into this is a favor?
No, I planted a seed for you. And if she came onto you and you let her down gently, who knows what kind of lies she might have made up.
Well, fuck me. Yeah, some high-level Jedi shit right there, buddy.
I say we do this today.
What's in the bag? It's not going to be... Maybe it's not going to be as bad as I think it is. Just cause a bit of chaos, not actually kill anybody.
Just see how you were doing.
Oh, they're sweet.
I'm doing okay.
Just trying to remember anything that might help.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was nice seeing you.
Nice to see you.
I like that they dropped in her. These two are clearly not on the best of terms.
No, not everyone can move on so easily.
Nothing was easy.
You're a coward and you're afraid. And Jackie is the one that's been there
Yeah,
every
but
day,
Jackie's
making
the
sure
worst.
I get it. Are you living with her?
Oh, is there somebody else?
No, Liv, I'm not.
Hey.
Flashback.
Sweetheart.
They changed the color tint when they're flashing back. It's more orange shifted, and then real life is more blue shifted.
Then I thought maybe I should give you another chance. See if we can try things your way after all.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Is this what you wanted, Marcus? Isn't this turning you on to be grabbed like this?
Ooh.
But you won't be telling your friends about this, will you?
What's in the bag? Is this the Tyler bag? This is the first step, and it's only going to get worse from here as Tyler spirals down that chaotic rabbit hole.
All right. Very funny.
Ooh. Literally everybody is delighted about it. Kids these days. Is nobody like, oh geez, sorry, dude, that sucks. Let's see if we can get you some help.
What do we do now?
Celebrate.
Have you ever shot a gun before?
More guns.
You know that midterm you got tomorrow? Last year you said Metcalf always uses the same test.
Thank you.
I got you. Always.
Remember that when you're in court. He acts dumb, but he's not. He's no dummy.
It's up to us to be the good guys.
You just take whatever you want.
You're damn right.
This scene is super interesting. Good strong windows. Meanwhile, away from everything,
I just feel like
where did the bullet...
I have this body, you know, and every day it gets up and puts on clothes, but it's like it's not mine anymore, or something.
Yeah.
You feel like you're a different
It's like
person?
you're living in a stranger's body.
Yeah.
And mind, sometimes. Come on.
They're reconnecting?
No, it's not you, okay? It's not you.
It's going to take a while for her to be okay with anybody. Wonder how Justin's doing. Are we going to go back to him? Yep. Is he still there? Yeah.
Sure.
He may talk a lot of shit, but don't let it get to you. He's just in a lot of pain.
And you've always got Hannah to help out if it gets too much.
Thank you.
Did good, Cherry.
I'm the victim here.
Marcus, your father, he's a church-going man, right?
He's heard all the tapes, Mr. Porter.
What do you think he would say if he listened to your tape?
What would your wife say if she listened to yours?
I already told my wife everything. And I've taken a long, hard look in the mirror.
He has.
Have you?
He's one of the biggest changes in season 2. Mr. Porter hasn't taken any prisoners this season. He's just saying it. He's the Clay of this season. Going to people's houses, telling them uncomfortable truths. We're going to shoot some bubbles, and then we're going to shoot some people. How about that?
If you don't want to try it, I mean, we don't have to.
Oh, hell yeah, I want to try it.
On the trigger?
He's not just good at shooting pictures.
Put your hands together like this.
I'm not sure I'd call this foreshadowing. This is like...
Do you think he could just walk in here?
5 shadowing?
Bryce needs to pay for what he did to Hannah. And Jessica is the only one who can speak to what happened that night.
Not true.
And Justin. I have a friend who might be able to track him down.
Yeah, well, if he's ever gonna be a normal 17-year-old kid again, he's got to put in the work. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? I'm sorry I'm not fucking normal, Dad.
That's not what I'm talking about, kid.
Good stuff. He doesn't salute him or call him sir anymore. I like that.
If this is as far as he gets, you've got to stop blaming yourself.
Why? It was my gun.
I think Alex is going to continue having flashes. Super curious if he's going to remember something that we don't know about, you know?
Come on, Clay.
Why are we here with Zach? What's in the bag? What? Ooh. What the shit? What was that?
Do you think he had that story to tell before today?
He was quite credible.
Yeah.
It's great for us.
Why is she so happy? If I was that lawyer, I'd be stressed out of my frickin' mind. I would not be going home with a bounce in my step. Then again, I'm not cut out to be a lawyer, so maybe it takes a different type of person. Ooh. Is this a breach of ethics? There's the tapes.
Are you sure Alex should hear the tapes?
Not sure of anything.
Odd question coming from the person who made them.
Great point. Great point. He's even including the one he made about Bryce. Yeah, looks. I bet he listens to them all in one night.
It's me. Live and in stereo.
Good. Alex now has all the tapes. He will listen to them all straight away. He's super motivated to do that because he's been desperate to get his hands on them and he wouldn't want them taken away by somebody discovering them on his phone or, you know, a lightning strike. So, yeah, he'll listen to them about 1,000 times faster than Clay did. I don't know if they're going to trigger any of his latent memories, but at least he'll be caught up on what we know. And then I think we'll get glimpses of what we don't know. we don't even really know that he did shoot himself. Although, who else would? Yeah, I'm super curious about what he's going to remember. The Jessica, Justin, Clay thing is interesting because Clay went behind her back to find Justin so that he could get him to back up her testimony without consulting her about the idea. And in this episode, she's like not on board with it at all. But Clay is telling Justin that she is on board with it, and it's a whole. And they just threw in the whole, Justin's addicted to heroin thing just at the end. Well, just at the start of this episode, though they hinted at it in the last episode. Just to give him an extra hurdle to get over. And Sherry's a trooper. Sherry had a great episode. She wasn't particularly a big villain in season 1. She ran into a stop sign and then she sped away without telling anybody. And that led to a chain of reaction that caused the death of one of their friends whose name it's in there somewhere. But she's been trying to make up for her actions in season 1 the same way Mr. Porter has. Holding herself accountable and pushing forward to do better. So she's good. Personally, I think she's a better fit for Clay than Sky. But let's just that's nothing. That's just me personally picking somebody. She seems more stable. Sky seems a bit crazier. Like she'll take you on a motorcycle ride and drive it off a cliff. Whereas Sherry, you see, Sherry's the opposite in this episode. She's actually taking care of somebody driving themselves off a cliff. So maybe that's where I'm getting that from, She's a better influence in Clay's life. Especially when because Clay is like that. He gets too much inside his own head and he needs some sort of stabilizing force. Especially right now. Tony's trying to distance himself from things a little bit. He doesn't want to be embroiled. He's on probation. Doesn't want people sniffing around. He doesn't want to be dealing with close to somebody with drug addiction issues. Doesn't want to be. His story is still going somewhere. And Tyler, well, they built their little explosion device. They used it on Marcus. And now they're going shooting. Now they're learning how to fire guns, although Tyler seems to know he can shoot those bottles, no problem. Cool as cucumber. He's been pointing and shooting for quite a while. And yeah, fascinated. That story is just going to get worse and worse. It's going to escalate. I think they're going to move on to bigger things. I don't know who's going to be the driving force or what the target of that will be. And Marcus doing his politician thing, lying his ass off, and we know that his version of things is a lie, because remember when I was saying that in season 1 we're trusting that what Hannah's saying is true even though some of the details are not true. Like an example is when she said that Zach crumpled up her note and dropped it, whereas Zach physically still had it. But we know Marcus was lying because he basically said as much to Bryce, He's like, hey, I'm planting a seed for you, buddy. Me and you, buddy. The same way Bryce is going to Zach. Me and you, buddy. Next year, mate. look back at what Zach found in that bag of his. Is it a dead rat? What the shit is that? It's not the only thing I wanted to look back Zach with on. I think Zach's dad might be dead. I think we mentioned something when he was talking to Alex in a previous episode. They mentioned him going home to an empty house, and I think something happened there. Maybe it was specifically mentioned and I just didn't pick up on it earlier, but Bryce was sort of joking, play the dad card. So either that or he just walked out. No, that wouldn't be a card. So, yeah, there's something there. And I think we only did see his mother in season 1. When the car got... Not quite sure. My memory isn't fully formed on that. Chloe is an interesting character. We're not supposed to like her. And we got to see a scene with her and Bryce where she is like coming on to him, getting it on. She says no, he says yes. And then she's going with it. She's like the perfect... Who she was in that scene is like the perfect person for Bryce. Because she said no, but she apparently really meant yes. So, that sort of thing gets into Bryce's head. Jeez, he'll never stop. And we still don't know the identity of the person feeding Clay information. But it could be that dude that hangs around Bryce. Or it could be anybody. It could be somebody surprising, Until it's specifically pointed out. It could be any of them. Even could be Bryce himself, just making some sort of super play. Thinking 10 million steps ahead. Although he didn't seem to understand how Marcus's testimony was actually good for him. So he's not that smart. Yeah. And we saw a little more story. Hannah's father appeared for the first time. And those two are not getting on. They had a falling out between seasons. And I think there's another woman in the picture. But she is Jackie. So, all's fair. I think that was most of the episode. Oh, except we don't know who's up next. Because last episode, they were heavily hinting that Marcus would be up. This episode, I don't think they were heavily hinting at anybody in particular. So it could be anybody. Could be Zach. Could be Alex, now that he's listened to all the tapes, although I don't think so. It's a bit early for that. We've done Tyler and Marcus and Chloe. Courtney. Courtney, Chloe. Justin is still recovering. I don't know. Guess we'll find out next week. So until then, yeah, a lot went on in that episode. The principal sort of threatened Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter's standing up for himself. Bryce is buddying up with Zach. Alex's parents are struggling to deal with what the best course of action is. Oh, so much stuff going on. Clay's parents, it's like everybody who was in the show was in that episode doing something. So the subject matter itself, Marcus and going back to that first date thing, the $100 bet, not so interesting, but everything else around it was just everybody had something to do. I especially liked Jessica and Alex's scenes together. The quieter scenes, the tender scenes. It felt like a nicer show. It's like a little bit, even though they were both struggling, and he wants to remember, she wants to forget. There was a serenity in those scenes, and they are actually a good fit. And I'm so glad they're friends. If it's nothing else, I'm so glad they're friends, because I really enjoy those scenes together they had. And I really like Zach as well, giving them the car. I'm glad that he's on Team Good now, even though he's still hanging out with Bryce. We know from season 1 he's a good guy. So that's episode 4. Have I missed loads of things in episode 4? Of course I have. There was so much in that episode. But I'm hoping you'll join me for episode 5 next week and have a good time until then. See ya.